Hey, what's going on, you guys? This is Madam, and I'm coming back to you once again. This time, I'm going to go over to CBS NFL, and this is how the Commanders owner Dan Snyder and the NFL's investigation could impact Robert Sarver's sale of the Suns. The article is by Jonathan Jones. And we about to get into it because apparently some of these owners and stuff, they got some things going on, honey. With Robert Sarver announcing his intentions Wednesday to sell the Phoenix Suns and the Phoenix Mercury, some eyes in the sports world returned to Washington and embattled Commanders owner Dan Snyder. Last week, the NBA released its findings of Sarver's after a year-long investigation into workplace misconduct and inappropriate behavior, along with the published report. The NBA fined Sarver $10 million and suspended him for a year. A week later, after pressure from inside and outside the Suns organization, Sarver committed to selling both the Suns and the WNBA's Phoenix Mercury. As a man of faith, I believe in atonement and the path to forgiveness, Sarver wrote in a statement on Wednesday. I expected that the commissioner's one-year suspension would provide time for me to focus and make amends and remove my personal controversies from the team that I and so many fans love. But in our current unforgiving climate, it has become painfully clear that is no longer possible that whatever good I have done or can still do is outweighed by things I have said in the past. For those reasons, I am beginning the process of seeking buyers for the Sun and Mercury. Okay, I find that really funny that he would say that, being as though when the other gentleman, he was so gun-ho to kick him out when he was brought up on, sexist and racist things as well. He was so gun-ho to kick him out. He was like, oh, well, I didn't do enough good, so, no, what's good for the goose is good for the gander. If you did it to old boy, it can be done to you too, pretty much. But anyway, the article continues to say pressure mounted on Sarver from his minority owners and sponsors to sell the team. Jamil Nafi, I apologize if I mispronounce anyone's name in here in advance and right now. The team's second largest stakeholder called for Sarver's resignation. PayPal said it wouldn't renew as a team sponsor if Sarver stayed. While Snyder has faced pressure from Congress and dealt with an unhappy fan base, one source notes that the unique pressure Sarver faces aren't in front of Snyder. Earlier this year, Snyder bought out his minority owners and owns 100% of the Commanders. And just an hour before Sarver's news broke Wednesday, the Commanders announced a new sponsor for the team's training facilities. Snyder, who has been involved in day-to-day operations with the Washington Commanders since July of 2021, is the subject of 2 or more investigations looking into alleged misconduct. Mary Jo White, a former SEC chairwoman, is leading the investigation. The NFL famously decided not to release a written report following a year-long investigation by Beth Wilkinson into workplace misconduct. The league fined Snyder $10 million, and he has not represented the team at the league meetings or been involved in the day-to-day operations since. The league said in February it would release a written report from White once complete. The first allegations centered on former team employee Tiffany Johnson, who alleged Snyder SH'd her at a work dinner in 2005 or 2006. The other investigation is looking into alleged financial improprieties regarding Washington's tickets revenue. Snyder has denied allegations of wrongdoing. Jeff Miller, the NFL's EVP of Communications, Public Affairs, and Policy, said last week that White is still pursuing these investigations and has no timeline on when her findings will be made public. The NFL and Commissioner Roger Goodell have declined to make the public findings from the Wilkinson report. Goodell has said before the league promised anonymity to witness and victims, the league cannot release even a heavy elite redacted report. And I think that's just them covering their ass. I mean, Roger Goodell, he's a sly fox, he is, okay? He tends to straddle the fence a lot, okay? At one point, he's all about inclusion and all of this stuff, but he was one of the main people that, mind you, that he don't want Kaepernick back. Like, he's adamant about, all because the man spoke up or whatever. But yeah, he's a sly one, he is. Snyder testified virtually in front of the U.S. House Committee on Oversight for more than 10 hours back in July. The details of the testimony have yet to be made public. Okay? And that is the end of this article right here. It seems that this is just not in the NBA, it's also in the NFL as well. Snyder, which is the NFL, the Commanders, if he found wrong and he's done wrongdoing, then he needs to be held accountable, regardless of what he holds, how much he holds as far as owning the team or whatever the case is. As far as Sarver, get his ass out of there, okay? Get his ass right the hell on up out of there. Him and everybody else like him that think they can go around and harass people and bully people and intimidate people and make inappropriate and racist remarks to people. Get their ass up out of there, okay? It's time to have a little bit more diversity in all sports, and I'm not just talking about the players. I'm talking about the team owners, the coaches, especially the coaches. It still amazes me that it took this long for them to start actually recognizing people of color for coaching positions, like head coaching positions, in a capacity, for college and, professional sports. It's really mind-boggling for me that it took this long to do that. And how about getting some people of color in the head office, just make it diverse as possible, but hey, that's just my opinion. If he's found guilty, just like Sarver, his ass need to go too, or he needs to be heavily penalized. And I ain't talking about $10 million, because $10 million is like water off a duck's back to this man. Okay, he needs to, be made an example of, like all of them that are like that or have been proven to be a menace at the workplace and inappropriate and all of those things. They need to be made examples of. So it is what it is. I don't feel sorry for either one of these gentlemen. You just don't get to do what you want because you own this or you have the luxury of being that. No. You're still a person like everybody else, so it is what it is for me. But drop down in the comment section as we always do, and let's get the conversation going about this and any other video that I've done in my channel. And I want to say thank you guys so much. I really do appreciate the love and the support, the likes, and the comments. I appreciate each and every one of them. And I will get with you guys in the next video.